How you doing? My name is Mark Choey. I'm here to talk about my journey from being a top producer in San Francisco to a brokerage owner, Climb Real Estate, and starting a software company, a tech software company, and some lessons learned through my journey. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen here, and away we go. Lessons learned from a top producer, broker, and tech expert. A little bit about me first. My name is Mark Choey again, real estate, founder of Highnote, co-founder of Climb Real Estate, one of the top brokerages in San Francisco. We grew Climb to a top 250 brokerage in the US. We were acquired by REALTORS. And I was a #2 condo agent in San Francisco for a number of years. Won a lot of awards, Inman Newgard Award, T3's most powerful real estate leader, top trendsetters, etc. And my background was originally in technology. I did a master's in electrical and computer engineering with a specialty in wireless and artificial intelligence. I have also 2 patents under my belt. And that's a little bit about me, a real odd bird, real estate plus tech. I'm gonna start talking about my journey and impart some lessons that hopefully could be helpful to anyone listening here. And there's gonna be a lot of different people. You might be newly licensed in real estate. You might be a journeyman or veteran. You might be a brokerage owner. You might be a top producer. You might be a tech founder, but hopefully you'll get something out of this talk today. Top producer to a brokerage owner to a tech founder, and some common threads through this. Firstly, the Macintosh. I think you all know this computer and device, but what I really loved about it and what it had such a huge impact on me, that it wasn't just technology, it was accessible technology. It was not just a computer, but it was a computer that did something on a simple level. How to make technology easy to use for the average person. This is something that really drove me in the very beginning, really inspired me in 1984. And I wanted to make that part of my life. What I really love, though, is how technology can streamline your life, whether it's in your personal life or your work life. That's what tech is about, not just for technology's sake, but how it can change things and how it can make your life better and easier. My entire life, I've been looking for ways to implement technology to better our lives. And real estate was an obvious one. I was selling real estate, investing in real estate. And you know what? I decided to combine the two. And, it was a really good lesson for me and anyone. It's really, how do you find that niche in your life that you're going to double down on such that you can be a success? And no better way to doing that, in my experience, than to niche down, to find an area or an intersection of the world that and can combine those two things to be good at something. So, was I going to be the greatest technologist? No. Was I going to be the greatest real estate agent? No. But was I going to be the greatest real estate tech enabled an agent? Yes, I think I could do that. So niching down and finding what you're going to be good at in life is critical. 2005, I got my real estate license and I read the red book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller of Keller Williams. I joined Keller Williams, and they have incredible training programs where I learned how to build a team, how to be systematic, how to have buyer specialists, listing specialists, admin, marketing team, etc., how to systematize a business that's so hard to systematize because you are doing so many things at once as a real estate agent. I learned everything from this red book, and we were off. Now, 2006, my oldest son was born, Mason. Everyone says you need a big why in life, and this was my big why. I'm going to share a story where I saw him on the delivery table after he was born, and I was sort of shocked that there's this completely new human being there crying and completely helpless and needing me and my wife to provide for this person, completely dependent upon us to raise this human being. And a sense of urgency really came upon me. And I love using pictures and video to, express feelings, but this is really what I felt like. Time to wake up, time to wake up and do something great. I found this the other day and I thought it was hilarious and really poignant. It's sort of the just do it, the Nike slogan, but also this quote really, is a great lesson. It's, you got to make it happen now, not tomorrow. What are you waiting for, right? Make it happen now. So my son being born really pushed me towards that. This is a picture of San Francisco, roughly 15 years ago. And this patch of dirt, or this gigantic area, was called Mission Bay. And it, to be totally cliche, since the days of the gold rush, people have been coming to San Francisco for opportunity. And there's this driving range right here in Mission Bay, if you see on the bottom left here, where I lost $200 worth of tokens because I showed up one day and the driving range was gone. They were building so fast in San Francisco that my $200 of pre-purchased tokens I lost because they were building so fast. And I said, wow, there's so much development and opportunity in San Francisco. The city was planning for 30,000 new housing units, and a great majority of them were to be concentrated in these unbuilt, undeveloped areas. Here's another part of San Francisco, the downtown skyline area. And I said, wow, San Francisco is going to be turned into a little New York City, a very urban environment. So I'm from New York City, and we lived through probably one of the greatest cities in the world. And we saw a big trend in San Francisco turning into a big city. We saw elements of the city right before our eyes changing. So I took out my business plan skills and started writing a little business plan, how we were gonna be the urban brokerage. I took everything from Gary Keller's book and started thinking of some ideas and really recognizing that there was a shift of housing towards this new district. I also noticed that current internet technology was underutilized in real estate. And I also noticed that San Francisco was turning into an urban city, and we needed a brand that would resonate with the sophisticated urbanite, which was what I saw as a trend. And here's a lesson, skate to where the puck is going, not where it has been. And that's what Wayne Gretzky, who's the greatest hockey player of all time, said is his motto. And this is exactly a lesson that I took to heart. This was our original group, ragtag group of 7, a very diverse level of expertise and abilities. Some worked with buyers, some were first timers, some were veterans, some worked with sellers. It was a very fun group. We looked at the brands in the space and noticed that they were very traditional brands. and many of them named after old men, right? And we decided that, hey, the brand that we create really shouldn't be someone's last name. So we decided to pick a name that was aspirational, a verb, right? And it was something that I wish I could take credit for, but it was not my idea. It was my partner, Chris Lim, who's a genius marketer, and my partner, one of my partners at Climb. And, you know, this is what he came up with, and it was great. You know, again, San Francisco was changing, it was urbanizing under tremendous pressure from the booming Silicon Valley tech industry to create more housing. San Francisco really could only build up. These warehouses that were all over San Francisco, in one district in particular called Soma, south of Market, were a scattered collection of auto repair garages, you know, old warehouses, distribution areas, factories. They were becoming luxury lofts, and very cool, very hip, stylish. Parking lots were becoming gleaming skyscrapers. And I looked at this as an opportunity to capture market share. Tech was moving into the city, transforming San Francisco into the city that it is today, driven by technology. So again, I'm going to run through a quick timeline of events for Climb. You know, in 2006, we went to the cloud. Email files, we all moved to the cloud. I started a blog in 2007 that really looked at capturing the new development buyer, condo buyers. I thought that if I could blog a lot about condos and demonstrate market knowledge and expertise, people would call, and they called a lot. We were early adopters of social media to promote real estate. And then we developed a lot of cool little things on our website, like virtual floor time. These are my partners at Climb, and you know, the lesson here is you have to find better people than you, or find people that are better than you at things that you need. To the left was Chris Lim. He's marketing, sales genius, branding, charismatic leader. To the person on my right, on the right was a brilliant managing broker who really held the fort down and let us grow, or laid a foundation for us to grow to the levels that we did. The market crashed around 2009 in what people call the Great Recession. We launched in 2010. So we thought that when everyone was contracting, everyone was stopping advertising, so everyone was closing up stores and moving out, we thought this would be a great time to launch. And the next lesson that I have is, you know, zig when they zag, right? Do something different than what everyone else is doing, buck the trend. If everyone is not advertising in the newspaper, maybe you should double your advertising. You're going to get twice the bang for your buck and market share, at least mind share in your advertising efforts. 2010, we went independent. We opened a tech co-working office space with no assigned desks and no landline phones. It was very novel at that time. These are some of the images of Climb in the early days, all put together by my partners. Our transaction coordinator's desk was completely paperless, completely unusual. We were growing 14th in San Francisco in 2010. 2011, we rolled out the concept of a mobile office. Food trucks were all the craze in San Francisco at that time. And we said, hey, you know, real estate's very expensive. Leases are very expensive. What can we do to have a lease, but have it be a mobile office. Take a trend that was happening in one industry, borrowing it and bringing it to another. So Airstream mobile office was our thing. We were growing 10th in San Francisco. 2012, we kept on innovating and trying new concepts. Here's like a data visualization way to search for properties. 2013, we were experimenting with drones. We were the first brokerage to use Matterport. Real Scout, we were an early adopter of. And then in 2014, we started hearing about a company called Urban Compass, and later known as Compass. But more on that. 2015, we had an actor who, an agent who became an actor essentially in $1 Million Listing, San Francisco. We were growing, top 25 in the Bay Area, 7th in San Francisco. And back to Urban Compass, 2013, I started noticing that these guys wanted to come to San Francisco. They were very aggressive in their recruiting. They raised about 25 million in funding at that time. They were expanding to Boston, LA, Miami, full service. They had an app, CRM, lead, market research, all kinds of tech that they're building on their own. And they had an all-star team of programmers with all the money they raised. You know, we felt this was a major threat to our business model. And, you know, they were very disruptive, very aggressive. And I was nervously watching their every move and when they were coming to San Francisco. So we kept pressing on, however, and the awards and recognition kept flowing in. We were recognized as being one of the top 250 brokerages in the country. And tech savvy, innovative. Real Trends recognizes as 242 in largest brokerage in the US with $1 billion in volume and 110 agents. And, you know, one lesson that I have here is that, you know, we weren't trying to please others or fit a mold that was already established. We set out to create our own brand, our own style, and do it well. Be yourself, you know, love who you are, be different. Nobody can be as good as you at being you. So just own it, right? We were a very diverse group. We just had fun. We did lots of cool stuff. And, you know, don't forget that it's really about your life, right? And don't try to please everyone out there. And just find your crew. This is a great quote by Kevin Kelly of Wired magazine. You don't need millions of dollars, nor millions of customers, millions of clients, nor millions of fans. You only need 1,000 true fans. And that couldn't ring more true than for us and for my journey. You know, another good thing, another lesson is you got to take good pictures, right? Here are some pictures that we took you know, at Climb, and you know, this is like a Vanity Fair picture of our top team. These are pictures of our office. They're just fantastic, gorgeous. Again, I wish I could take full credit for this, but I can't. Here's our Airstream, just a fantastic looking picture done our marketing team and Chris Lim. Here's you know, some of our office space. Just amazing. And oh yeah, remember the vast empty land that was Mission Bay in the beginning of this talk? This is what it looks like today. Golden State Warriors play here. It's full of tech companies, Uber. It's full of biotech companies and housing, apartments, etc. Remember the picture of downtown San Francisco? This is what it looks like today. Here's a before and an after, full of high-rise living, super dense. You know, and here's another great quote. You know, you just can't be great at everything, but you're world-class at something. Go figure out what that is. It's how you win. For us, it was the intersection of innovative tech and marketing. and a relentless focus on being #1 in one tiny area in San Francisco. And we wrapped it up with an amazing branding that is really important. Here's another lesson: is play a lot of board games, right? Play a lot of board games. I played a lot of Risk. And for those of you that know Risk, the secret to winning is owning Australia, right? You capture Australia, and 9 out of 10 times, if you capture Australia and start from there, you take over the whole board. And for us, Australia was this tiny part of San Francisco. The yellow is an area in San Francisco called District 9. It included Mission Bay. It includes Bernal Heights and Potrero Hill and Soma, south of Market, as well as South Beach. The blue is an area I'd like to focus in, but then really I focused on one building in San Francisco, and it was called the Infinity. And it was the largest building in the city. And still is the largest condo building in the city. So here's a picture of what where we focused. This was South Beach, this blue area, and I focused in this one particular building. We hired agents to support us in the rest of this district. By owning this district, we were able to capture a major part of the market share in the city as that part of the city developed, and it ended up becoming 25% of the sales in all of San Francisco. Let's see here. And next, I'm going to skip to the next slide. Here, Compass, they got a lot of funding, 450 million, another 400 million. They raised a ton of capital. Right around 2016 is when we decided the rules have changed. We were in San Francisco, we were battling other brokerages on a traditional level, but now someone from quote unquote tech industry with a lot of venture capital was coming to the party armed with guns. So we were scared. We were scared our brand would not survive if Compass came to San Francisco. And so we decided to try to find an exit and to partner with a larger brokerage who can fulfill our dreams and take Climb to another level. So we started to look for options, and we weren't afraid to pivot. We said, okay, we need to find a way to exit, sell our brokerage and our brand, and hopefully that new company could take us national. And so in 2016, we found the perfect partner in REALTORS, and they purchased us in August 31st, 2016. We were very excited that we were going to have a chance to be on every street corner in the US. And then Compass announced 2 days later, September 2nd, 2016, that they were launching in San Francisco. I cannot tell you the relief we felt. And these are some pictures that really summarize kind of what we felt. This is a picture, no laughing matter, of a tsunami happening in Japan, but we had a black car. Here's another great picture or video of how we felt. Compass is the truck, of course, and we're the little red car. And here's another one. It's sort of a scary video, but it's a baby stroller on the train tracks and this guy saving them. Let's watch this again. I don't even know if this is real, but it really shows the emotions that we went through at that time. Then Compass started gobbling up all the largest brokerages in the city. Compass became 40% of the market share in the city and in the Bay Area, and we were all the way out on the right. Luckily, we've been purchased by REALTORS. Life is all about timing, and timing is everything in life. You can be too early, you can be too late. In that particular instance, we were right on time. I joined REALTORS, but I also knew myself. that this quote is from Socrates: know thyself, that I do not work well at a large company. And I needed to start a new thing. So I left Realogy, right around the time they announced that Climb is going national. Realogy expands brand offerings to include Climb and Corcoran. That did not happen at the end. They dropped Climb, but it was fine. I was at peace with my decision and I already moved on. And, this picture really shows another lesson. And it just demonstrates it much better than anything I could say. But, each of these flowers, stems really represent a decade in your life. And, you grow, you have to change. How are you going to evolve and evolve to a new thing? And for me, it's real estate plus tech. Has always been. And so I've started a new company called Highnote. And, the mission is not done for us. Real estate agents need so much help in the industry today still. I started this company because I really enjoy helping agents. Tech needs to be simpler and needs to be better for the real estate agent. This is what it does. It allows you to create beautiful presentations and pitches on a fly easily. And as you deliver it, you get fantastic analytics. Highnote basically wins deals, and it combines, it streamlines the entire sales pitch, and you combine everything that you want to show and sell to clients and leads, and delivers it in one beautiful link. You get analytics as well. You see what people are reading. It's been fantastic. Some of the lessons learned, I talked about finding your niche, zigging when they zag, pivot, keep changing, know thyself. It's all about timing, having 1,000 fans, etc. But I will tell you, when I get these testimonials from people and agents saying how much they love Highnote, it's really thrilling for me personally to help other agents. So, the other lesson that I have that I would say is, I love helping agents, and with my skills and knowledge base. And, I would ask yourself, what is your North Star? What is that thing that's going to drive you? For me, after seeing those testimonials and helping my agents grow, that is what gives me my joy, is helping other agents. And that's really the end of my talk. Thank you. You can reach me at mark@highnote.io if you need help on anything, whether it be a top producer, knowing how to grow a brokerage or sell a brokerage, or on what Highnote can do for you. Thank you very much.